wow, you have a really complicated energy here going on of like, do it all for myself or sacrifice everything for others. That's a seesaw right there. Wow. Okay. Let's get into it. Hello, Marty, my love. This is your personal roast or reading. And if you are not Marty and you're like, what is going on here? My name is Riley X. This is a personal astrology roast. You can book it at rxtarot.com if you're interested. And stick around if you have some of these placements, or if you're interested in astrology and want to learn how to really understand how to read a chart. That is sort of the double combination of trying to explain how I read astrology. I love doing it in roast form because it makes the most sense. And I hope it's actually helpful. So, Marty, my love, let's jump in and check out what we've got going on here. So starting with your rising sign, you are a Leo rising. This is really interesting for a few reasons. Being a Leo rising makes your sun your chart ruler. So we're back to the first house. So you may have a very strong sense of self. You may really know who you are, feel good about who you are, and really just want to be the best version of yourself you can be. I also see your Leo Mercury here. And I laugh because I have two very close friends who are very sweet people who have Leo Mercuries who cannot put themselves in other people's shoes. I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I can't tell if it is the Leo Mercury or if it's the other placements they have going on, but it's interesting to me that they both have that same placement. Because a Leo Mercury, you know how to express yourself. You know how to take whatever you're feeling and whatever you've got going on and roar. You know what I mean? But understanding where someone else is coming from can be a bit of a barrier. Understanding how other people are feeling about it can be a bit of a barrier. Except that you do have your moon in Pisces in the 8th house next to Jupiter. But it's retrograde. So anything Jupiter touches expands, right? Jupiter in Pisces is expansion of the unknown, expansion of rose-colored glasses, the expansion of creativity, expansion of intuitive connection. And it's retrograde. So this is all more internalized for you. This may not be expressed externally. You may not be able to really share how you're feeling on the inside fully because your moon is your feelings. Your moon is what's going on the inside, the parts of you that you don't share out loud, the parts of you that can feel hard to share. Especially having your moon in the 8th house. I'm a Capricorn moon in the 8th, and sharing my feelings for the longest time actually felt like I was being stabbed in the chest. So, you know, maybe that's something you struggle with. Feeling your feelings is one thing, but being able to actually express them out loud can be a very difficult thing for a moon in the 8th. Pisces moon, you may be an avoidant. You may feel too much and want to like numb it and like not feel it. You can get addicted to escapism very easily. You may be somebody who loves video games or movies or something where you can kind of like get out of your body for a minute. That could be very true for you. Recreational things I'm thinking of as well. Moving forward. Now, here's some interesting energy here. Your Libra energy in the 3rd, you have your Libra Venus, which comes back to that place of where your Pisces moon is as well. How are other people feeling? Am I doing things right by others? Am I connecting to others in a way that feels meaningful to me? Being a Pisces moon in the 8th, you're feeling other people's feelings almost as much as you're feeling your own sometimes. Being a Libra Venus in the 3rd, you are constantly thinking about how other people are doing. It may not be necessarily 100% how they're feeling or putting yourself in their shoes, but you're worried about their well-being. You care for them. This is also intensified by the South Node hanging out here. The South Node in Libra is all about learning to trust. You will always find an equilibrium. You don't have to sacrifice yourself all of the time. You don't have to give everything you've got to other people in order to then somehow gain something afterward. You have learned some really hard lessons with this South Node on your route about oversharing to others. The fact that your Venus is here too tells me there's still probably a part of you that struggles with that and maybe always will, because there's such a connection and desire to make sure everyone's okay. However, you're meant to lean into this North Node and Midheaven in Aries. You are meant to go forward, go forth, and charge ahead with the things that make you feel really good, that make you feel alive, that help you feel like you're in charge in whatever way, shape, or form that means to you. Running your own business, doing your own thing, enjoying whatever it is that you do, and just really getting lost in it is such a huge part of your journey, because you're meant to enjoy what you do. North Node in the 10th. Your career path, your legacy, there is a desire to leave something behind. And that doesn't necessarily mean having kids, but whatever career you build for yourself, you want it to leave a lasting impact. And it can, but you gotta be selfish about that a little bit. That's where I think some of your chart is so interesting, because it's gonna help you push yourself towards that. This Capricorn Mars, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I'm a Cancer Mars retrograde. This Capricorn Mars in the 6th house is all about taking action towards this long-term goal, trusting the process, and really getting lost in the journey, right? The 6th house is your day-to-day actions, your routines, the things you're doing on a daily basis. So when you lean into that fully and enjoy it fully and feel good about it and just like dive into this energy of wanting to, when you just dive into the energy of enjoying the work, when you enjoy the work, Saturn in the 5th, when you enjoy the work, when you feel a sense of freedom from the work you do, unstoppable. Where I think this is interesting is this is not something that you necessarily want to be seen doing. Chiron and Gemini in the 11th with your Lilith right there. I find this very interesting for a few reasons. Chiron and Gemini is about the wounds of knowledge, the wound of communication, the wound of expression in a lot of ways, the wound of words. Chiron and Gemini is the wound of words. It's the wound of knowledge. You may not feel like you know enough, and it may feel really uncomfortable for you to speak publicly or share your knowledge on like a big, like, I don't know if you would be comfortable doing a TED Talk. You likely know enough, and I feel like there's a part of you that really thrives in the limelight, but not in like on a public stage sort of way, more like in a closed setting of people that you feel more comfortable with. That's definitely where you're going to shine a lot more. So like I said, what I find so interesting about your chart is this connection to needing to do it for yourself, needing to do what you like because you like it, and also this fear of like leaving others behind or like stepping on others' toes, or this fear of being seen in a way that you can't control, or things like that. But when you lean into this desire to do something meaningful and create, 5th house is all about creation. It's all about creativity. It's all about fulfillment. When you create from a place that gives you that stability and structure, but it creates a sense of freedom because it's what you want to do. I'm trying to think of an example to really make it make sense. Like, I think you would do really well working for somebody else to a certain level. I think you could shine. I think, you know, you could be one of the best employees, but there can be this point where you almost feel a cap or suppressed on your ability to actually create a sense of freedom from that type of job where you're working for somebody else. But if you start something on your own, and it doesn't have to be 100% on your own, right? It can always be with partners that you feel like you can trust and things like that. But when you start something that feels good to you, that feels like it's meant for you, that's going to be so different if you haven't done that yet. That's where you're going to feel this sense of freedom and pride. That's going to be really hard to achieve if you're waiting for somebody else to show that to you. I think this level of desiring, this level of success and this level of fulfillment with the work you do, I just don't think you can do it working for somebody else. It has to be your baby. It has to be your thing. And once you realize that you do know enough and stop being worried that you don't, you're going to be amazing. Thank you so much, Marty. I really hope you enjoy this. And like I said, if you want a personalized astrology roast, you can grab your roaster reading at rxtarot.com. Make sure to subscribe to my emails as well so you can get weekly updates on all of the astrology news. Thank you so much. Bye.